Good morning. You know, this is our time to wake up our body slowly and just luxuriate, being in bed, warming up all the juices and the joints and the fluids in our body. That always feels so good. So, I'm going to turn to my side and I want to show this very particular way of getting out of bed because this is really a safe way to not hurt yourself, particularly your back. Turn to your side, put one hand on the bed, one palm. Notice my knees are bent. I swing them over and I push up on my hand using the other hand or forearm to help me. And here I come to a sitting position very safely. So good morning, I'm Cynthia, and this is Get Fit in the comfort of your own bed. We're going to do 3 exercises today, and I really want you to take into consideration the width of the bed that you're on. If it is too narrow, you might want to do this on the floor or vary it in a way that I'm going to show. So I'm even going to take my pillow off, take the rest of my blanket off, so that I have lots of space. So lie down, if you're not already there with me, and let's begin. We're going to start with our diaphragmatic breathing, and putting our hands on our rib cage, letting our legs flop, or as I like to do, just bring my knees up, allowing them to fall in. And closing your eyes, take a deep breath in. By now your ribs should really feel like they're moving more. And exhale, long exhale, and the muscles in between the ribs, the intercostals, are stretching, and that allows the rib cage to move, which gives the lungs more chance for more air, what we all need. Again, breathing in deeply, and a nice long exhale, and everything goes back to neutral. And breathing in deeply. Notice if you can feel your ribs that are on the bed. Remember, the rib cage goes all the way around to meet our spine. And a long breath out. And again, breathe in deeply. Do you feel your ribs on the bed, changing, expanding a little? And a nice long exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath in. And a nice long exhale out. And we're going to let our legs slide down if they aren't there already. And remember, we used to talk in previous sessions about being on the center of the heel. So I would like you to take your legs wherever they happen to be and go on to the center of your heels. So all the joints, ankles, knees, and hips align. And this is a wave-like movement where we flex our feet, stretching the backs of our legs, and you can see the heels of the backs of my hands starting to stretch. Go as far as you can with the room you have and allowing yourself, your whole body to stretch. I actually feel my organs having a lot of space, which is so important. And the second part is we're going to stretch our feet, being on the center of the U, and our palms are reaching down towards our legs. Now, if you don't have full space for that, just simply bend your legs up and do it with as much space as you have. All right, so let's begin using the breath. Centering my heels, I'm going to take a breath in and out. And the backs of my hands are stretching my arms overhead, and my heels are reaching in the opposite direction, and I'm creating this vector of lines of energy in my body. And take another breath in and reverse it. The feet point and the heel of the hand and the palms stretch towards the feet. And breathing in and out, flex your feet. Bring the backs of the hands as far as you can overhead, stretching your spine, your organs, your pelvis as much as possible. Continuous breathing. Breathing in and out. My palms are leading. My toes are stretching. And again, feet flex. Backs of the hands. Arms. Everything is, let your shoulders come up. Really feel a nice stretch. And breathing again. And palms and elbows and pointed feet. Stretch down and a little faster now. Flex, stretch your arms up, your feet are flexing, and point. Stretch your palms down one more time, and flex, and stretch the arms, and point, and bring the palms down. All right. Take a nice breath. Great. You should really feel warm now. We're going to do something now that I call fluid movement. We are 70% fluid approximately. So instead of doing muscular movements, we're going to move fluidly. That is very sensuous feeling. We all should be allowed to feel sensuous no matter what age we are. And it does great things to the brain as well as the body. It gets you out of old ways of thinking and patterns. So beginning now, as if you're in warm water and the hands begin to fluidly move, which then involves the heel of my hand, and they're rotating, which is involving my forearms and my elbows. And now my shoulders are getting involved. And as my shoulders get involved, I feel my neck, my head turning, and now my rib cage is starting to move. And feel on the bed, feel the backs of your ribs starting to move. And so now I feel my pelvis moving. I'm going to move it in any way I can. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to circle it. Whatever feels good for you. And notice my legs and your legs are soft. So the knees can bend, either both at a time or one at a time. And the feet are moving in any way that you can find that's new. And at the same time, I am still moving as many other parts of my body as I can. My head, my neck, my face, my fingers, my shoulders, my abdomen, my hips, my pelvis, my knees, my ankles, and my feet, and my toes, and I'm just feeling like I am in warm, fluid, sensuous place in my body. And I'm slowly going to start bringing it to an end. Take your time, continuous breathing, floating down, back to the bed, and feel the solidity of whatever you're on. All right, great. Now this last one, we need to be especially careful of the width of what we're on. If your bed is too narrow, make this movement smaller or try it on the floor. I'm going to turn to my side, and I am going to move back from the edge of the bed. And I'm going to curl up. And I'm going to take a nice breath in. My head's tucked in, my elbows are tucked in, my knees are tucked in. And on the exhale, I'm going to stretch as much as I can, stretching my arms, head, neck, legs, everything. I'm in an arch. And take a breath and come back into the folded position and take a rest. Okay, take a breath in. And on the exhale, stretch everything out on your side. You try to stay on your side. This is a different kind of stretch for your spine. I'm even looking to the back. And take a breath and come in. And again, take one more rest here. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, legs stretch out, arms stretch out, shoulders, neck, head. I'm on my side. I feel my back arching. Breathe and come back in. Open your eyes if they were closed. You really want to be careful of where you are. And I'm going to turn to my back so we can do it on our other side. I'm going to turn first to my spine, then to my side, and I'm moving away from the edge of the bed. And we begin in the curled up position, which feels kind of nice, you know, a little fetal position. And my knees are tucked in, and elbows and head. Take a breath in. On the exhale, try to stay on your side if you can. Stretch everything out. Legs, arms, neck, head, and arch your back. Great. What a stretch. And come back in to the folded position. I'm going to scuttle down a little bit because I got too near the edge of my top of my bed. And take a breath in. And again on the exhale, arms, hands start reaching, feet start reaching. So all the limbs are stretching. I'm looking back to try to stretch my entire spine and neck. And come back in. And come back to that nice closed in fetal position. Should feel nice to have a rounded back. Take a breath in. Last time. Fingers, toes, arms, legs, neck, head, spine, stretching. Wow. And come back in. And roll onto your back. Be aware of the width of whatever you're on. Take a moment to settle. And I'm going to get up again. Knees in, hand pushes. And we're coming to sitting. Let's adjust ourselves here so we get ready for the last thing we're going to do. So we have done an introduction, 7 sessions of getting fit in the comfort of your own bed, and 1 chair exercise will follow this. We're going to end this portion by standing up and doing the fluid movement that we were doing on the bed, standing up. I would like to say one thing. I would like to give my teacher, Emily Conrad, a thank you. She is the one who taught me in a very different context the concept of fluid movement. All right, so let's stand up and get comfortable. Our legs as wide apart as comfortable, wider even than your shoulders. And notice that I'm shifting my weight, that my knees are relaxed so that I can shift my weight. We're going to begin the fluid movement with our fingers. So taking your fingers and as if you are just playing in water, gently moving your fingers, which then will involve your hand and your wrist and your forearm and your elbows. And my arms are going up over my head. Let your shoulders come up. Keep your neck and head relaxed and curve. Try to get into some rotations. Yeah, spirals are really what the world is made of. We want to spiral and curve our arms. And now my shoulders are moving. And my ribs, notice your ribs. Put your hands on your ribs for a moment and see if you can really get them moving. Side, side. Maybe a figure 8, that infinity sign. Or any which way, one side higher than the other, one side lower. And now put your hands on your pelvis and it moves sideways and it circles. Keep circling and it can move in figure 8s. Experiment and go forward with your hips and back with your hips. Let go and see if maybe your knees can move. And it doesn't have to look like me. It's any way that feels good in your own body. And I'm going to start raising my arms again, and we're just going to try moving our whole body. Even my lips, my eyes, and notice I'm transferring my weight. If you can't do that, just keep a sway. And arms, and shoulders, and ribs, really moving. And as my ribs, as I'm sideways, my elbows and arms can do different things. And they're lowering, and they're curling. My arms are just waving around like seaweed you would see floating in waves of water. And now I really want to specifically involve my ribs. So I'm thinking about changing whatever direction I can with my rib cage around and side and lifted. And my hips are moving. Meanwhile, my arms continue doing whatever they feel like doing. You don't even have to think about it. Just feel the fluidity of the movement and allow what your body wants to do. And I even feel like my foot wants to come off the floor to give me more range, if you can do that. And if you have to hold on to the bed to do that, that's fine. And now I'm going to try to rotate my spine, using my arms to lead me. And now just finish by moving any way that feels wonderful in your body, that feels soft, that feels fluid, that feels sensuous and light. So I'm Cynthia. This has been Get Fit Comfort in Your Own Bed. We did an intro, as I said. There were 7 in bed, and there'll be one more where you're sitting in a chair doing several exercises. And the important thing then is to go back and repeat the cycle again, because the more you do it and the more you become familiar with it, the deeper you can go inside your body and get the movement from an inner space rather than it being from an outer space. And this will be maybe a new experience for some of you. So I hope you have fun. This has been a great exploration, and I really like to call it Awakening to Health. Have a great day.